Good morning. Today we're going to assess the 2016 Australian Cup and provide our wind form ratings assessment provided by www.horseracingaustralia.info. That's Horse Racing Australia, all one word, lowercase, .info, I-N-F-O. And for a second part of this presentation, we're going to look at how horses run second up. It's a very important consideration. So first of all, let's have a look at the Australian Cup. And we're looking at how the wind form ratings are assessed on the GTX program. And here we go. First of all, we can see that we've got number 6 Bow Creek is rated on top and at odds of $4.90. That's the decimal odds. We can also see that it's assessed as a likely favourite. Okay, then we have the 5-year-old mare Rising Romance rated at $5.80. The 8-year-old Merino $7 and so on, until we get to Squiddo and $8.60. Now, these other horses all have 20-point penalties for various reasons. The most likely of them is the horse is considered not fit for the race. Okay. Now, one of the reasons could be, if we look at our Ivanhoe, it's had a spell. It ran 5th last start, and now it's having its second run up from a spell over 2,000 metres. The same with Preferment. Happy Trails is at its 3rd run from a spell. Our Gonkunt, second up, and so on. Alright, so of these I'm only going to have a look at our Ivanhoe, and the reason I'm having a look at our Ivanhoe is because the form reveals something about what our Ivanhoe can do. Okay, so if we have a look at it, we'll find that it's rated on this race on the 17th of October, a 69.4. Of more interest to me is the fact that it was beaten 9th, 2.5 lengths at its opening run from a spell in September last year, and rated a 53.9, but at its second run from the spell was second, beaten only a length and a quarter, and that was in 155.66, and our rating was a 73.1, which means it improved nearly 20 rating points between its first up and second up run. If we look at its first up run this time in, we can see that it was 8th of the turn, finished 5th, only beaten 2.5 lengths. But over here, look at the steward's report. Locked for a run near the turn, locked for a run on straighten. So it could have done a lot better. And that was when it was second, beaten 2.5 lengths by Bow Creek. Now, consider this. The horse can probably improve 20 points if it follows history on its second up run. Okay, so therefore, we've got a 20-point penalty here, and it's more than likely that we should reduce that back down to a 0, which we'll do now, and that'll give it its new rating. And given this is 2,000 metres, we'll see it's had only one run over the distance. That was quite some time ago, when it was first up over there and was only beaten a couple of lengths in, so you can't hold that against it. It's won at 2,200 metres. This event is going to be highly contested, and so I've got no doubt at all that the 2,000 metres will suit it at this stage of its preparation. When we look at the new ratings, we see that our Ivanhoe now comes up on top at $2.90, ahead of Bow Creek at $8. Now if we have a look at Bow Creek, it's very hard to assess what it could have done third up, because we actually don't have a rating in Australia for the horse at its 3rd run from a spell. That's never raced in that sort of fashion. I will certainly see tomorrow. My advice is that the smart thing to do would be to back our Ivanhoe and Bow Creek, and we could be reasonably confident of being on the winner. Now, of more essence is this one. How horses run second up. So I'm going to give you an insight into that, and I recommend you continue to listen to the video and observe the facts that I've put down on paper here. Okie doke. Let's just drag our cursor down here, and we can see the stats for all horses second up from 1,300 metres to 1,600 metres, excluding first up winners, and I'll show you why in a moment. Okie doke. First of all, there were 17,677 runners and only 454 winners, or 8%. Now I can tell you that 9% is the average strike rate of all horses in a race, regardless of how many runs from a spell. And here we are, second up, only 8%. That tells us straight away that the old adage avoid horses running second up in longer races is well and truly proven. So there's our Mythbusters answer, if you like. It's not a myth, it's true. But let's have a look and see what we can do. So there's the but. If beaten by up to a neck or 0.3 of a length is probably the most accurate margin compared to a neck, we can see that there were 552 eligible runners, 117 of those win and made a profit of 14%. Now, one of the reasons for that is that second up runners are often at a slightly better price on average, and there we go. They are certainly horses that are going well and proven by the fact they've been narrowly beaten at their first up start. Now, horses that have had just their first up have won first up. It's often thought that first up horses, they use up all their energy first up and therefore are no good next start. There's a relatively small sample, I suppose, but 1,543 races for 255 winners and made a 1% profit. So that's 255 winners, and the strike rate of those is around 17%, and that is more than double the strike rate of all horses running second up over 1,300 to 1,400 metres. Now, that's part of a new book I'm putting together based on the fitness pattern of horses. But until then, let's see how our Ivanhoe and Bow Creek go in the Australian Cup tomorrow. Thanks for watching.